Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from watching the new Predator movie, starring Boyd Holbrook, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Sterling K. Brown, among others, and directed by Shane Black, who was also in the original Predator, so it's kind of funny how these films come full circle that way. Now, if you've ever watched most Shane Black movies, you know that they're usually filled with cool action scenes, fun banter between the characters, and lots of humorous moments. And it's no exception in The Predator, where we get tons of cool action, a lot of funny one-liners, and plenty of quips to go around. But there are some big flaws in the film that keep it from being, a fun ride throughout. But let me get to the story, shall we? The story centers around Boyd Holbrook's character, who is an army ranger who discovers the existence of a predator coming to Earth, only turns out nobody believes him in the army. And where he's sent out with a bunch of other ex-soldiers with their own personality quirks. That is until a predator who's being researched by various scientists breaks out of its facility and tries to reclaim some gear that that's been left on the planet. All the while, Boyd Holbrook, a scientist played by Olivia Munn, and his buddies all try to find out new things about these predators, and as well as they try to save themselves and those that they love, as the predator unleashes new threats that they've never seen before. But that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything. So, what did I like about this movie? Well, like most Predator movies, the action scenes and especially the cinematography are excellent. You get to see the Predators do a few things that we've never seen in a Predator movie before. Some of it's for the better, some of it's for the worse, but for the better of it, we do get to see more variety in the action scenes. We do get a faster pace, and we do get a lot of characters that try to emulate elements from the original. Heck, there are even some lines that are even altered from the original, like the "You are one ugly Emmer Effers" line. They try to do a spin on that, and the "Get to the chopper" line. There's even a funny subversion of that sort of callback later on in the film that I won't spoil at all. But it is very funny and very fitting. Also, the comedy throughout the film, especially the one-liners, are very good. I think Keegan-Michael Key has some of the better ones, but then again, he's from Key and Peele. He's always fun. But almost all the soldiers get a lot of good lines that will either make you laugh or make you connect with these guys quite a bit. They're not exactly as memorable as Dutch's group from the first Predator, but they're pretty memorable in their own way. Even if some of the jokes, a few too many, are about making the lone female scientist around them, played by Olivia Munn, uncomfortable. But it doesn't happen. But it didn't bother me too much, considering these guys aren't supposed to be role models anyways. Unfortunately, some other elements of the film didn't work out too well. For example, in this plot we do learn new things about the Predator culture, but some of these things seem to contradict certain elements of the previous movies, or some of them just feel like bad additions that shouldn't be in there. Not to mention, the third act of the film is really underwhelming. The film starts strong, and the middle part does have some good action and some good banter, but the last section of the film is filled with awful CGI and a final battle that it doesn't really live up to expectations. Even though it does have its moments here and there, the third act is really disappointing in comparison to the first two. Not to mention, I do think that a few of the scenes in this film could have been cut for various reasons. Either they aren't funny, they don't progress the story in any ways, or they just could have had certain elements expanded more. Like, they could have certain scenes cut and certain other ones added in. But the editing of the film did seem to have that problem, where it felt like the film was cut down from what it could have been, or added things that shouldn't have been there. Also, it does try to set up another film in the franchise, which I'd be all for, but I definitely think there needs to be more improvements to be made before the series can really hit its stride. So it's a very flawed Predator film, but I personally enjoyed what it brought. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. See you next time.